Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
It's a leap of faith. It's Indiana Jones stepping out.
It is.
Onto that bridge.
Yeah.
The penitent man. The word of God. Good morning, drum and drummer. Start your Thursday morning with a burp.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a burp, though. I mean, I can't burp, so what do I know? But it just sounds like pain. It just sounds like pain.
Yeah, just the demons all trying to escape at the same time.
Yeah.
And the reflex of the body goes, nah, I've got to keep some of you in. Can't deal with you all now.
This is it.
You know,
yeah.
One demon at a time, please.
Even within demons, you're structured. I imagine you have a demon spreadsheet, probably. You know.
Well, we'll get onto spreadsheets in a bit.
I noticed that you didn't reply to my text because you were probably so excited.
Yeah, I thought, here we go. That's a whole four-parter. I thought, this will see out the month of my surgery recovery. I'll do a side podcast. Spreadsheets. Need a good pun. Spreadsheets and bedsheets while I'm recovering. Brilliant.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Quick little thing. I went food shopping this afternoon. Yeah, I can do that. I worked this morning. Cheers. Did my food shopping. And food shopping is really expensive these days. But what I liked, I did the old scan and shop, innit? Your total, £111.11.
That's good.
All ones, baby.
Yeah.
All ones.
One. Yeah. Love that.
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
That is fun. I went to Tesco the other day, and I had a gift card from work, £25 to be used wherever I want within the places that you could use it. So I went with Tesco, and I just popped in to get some bits, and I went, do you know what? I'm going to use the gift card now because I just had a new fridge in my flat. Because I couldn't really store a lot of stuff, so I was thinking, well, this is great. Let's load up this bad boy. And I mainly bought frozen goods, you know, and I
assume you've got a freezer as well with the fridge.
Yeah, big time. I had a freezer before, but I was always a bit untrustworthy towards it. Because I thought, well, if that's what it's doing to the cucumbers in the fridge, what is it going to do to the whatever I put in the freezer? You know what I mean?
To your ice lollies. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. To my Calippos.
Good choice. I love winter Calippo.
So, anyway, the man says, do you have a club card? I say, yes, I do. Not only do I have a club card, I've also got a £25 gift voucher. And it ended up being, weirdly enough, I think about 11 quid for this whole array of frozen bits. I thought, this is great. It feels like free, you know? And I was talking to someone about it, and I said, you know, if I were to ever get rich, I wonder if that would disappear, you know? If you're mega rich and then you go, oh, wow, £25 gift voucher, this makes it cheaper, or whether things like that are lost on you. A bit like the Only Fools and Horses, you know, where they finally become millionaires, and then Delroy gets a call from someone, we could double our money, Rodney, you know, and it's like, we don't have to do that anymore, you know. It's interesting. It is interesting. Anyway, did you get anything good? And why did you start talking about it?
I don't know. Oh, just because
you know what? I think
the total was fun.
Oh, yeah. I think if we keep this podcast going for another 30 years, when one of us inevitably
I haven't got 30 years in me, mate. Not in doing the podcast. I think in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
18 years. Who knows? Maybe the surgery does not go well.
Okay. But I think when one of us inevitably gets Alzheimer's, find a way. We should make it a way that someone still records us. And then you can just watch the progression, because, you know, we're getting forgetful. You know, we'll start a topic and go, why are we talking about this again? You know, imagine that in our.
Well, you get
70s.
those artists. I can't remember which one where it's got their self portraits throughout there as they sort of go mental or something, and they just get weirder and weirder. And now the modern equivalent now is your podcast.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
when we are considered one of the greats.
Yeah,
which
we will.
And they'll just put a good crack, a good pop.
Yeah.
Henry Court's Court, and then just gobshite, just utter.
Yeah.
Dog shit. And you go, look, you can really see how George went mental.
Yeah.
Speaking of spending money, of not spending money.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know if this is what's the phrase? A tale. So last week I said, I'm going to go to Graham Russell tomorrow because I want to get some new skins for my drum kit. That's the word. But I also spied mine eye upon a K hybrid crash.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, it's January. Okay, this is where you have to put your sensible hat on sometimes in life, right? And I'm all for buying things you like. Enjoy life. You know what I mean? Can't take your money with you, but I do need it to last till the gigs start up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's January. Tax, that's all paid for. But, not flush with cash at the moment because it's a musician's winter.
Yeah.
I had, days recording my freshman year, doing some new promo, and I thought it'd be nice to get some new skins. I'd like to get some new snare skins. On my Aviator, that skin's just gigged all year, probably more. But I thought if I go to Graham Russell, and I'm sorry, Graham, if I go, I will buy that crash. And I can't afford to buy that crash at the moment. It's not a sensible decision. I can't just go and buy the skins. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't. The willpower in that place is so low. I had to just not go. And I was like, do you know what? The recording will be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just don't buy the cymbal. And then I was like, if I go in, my chances now, so it's a Wednesday afternoon, time has passed, I've got a recording session later, can't make it there anyway now. Okay, I've saved the money, I've not bought the cymbal. I got a phone call from my solicitors who helped facilitate the deal of selling my flat.
Right.
And first thoughts are, oh God, what's happened? Is that Ben? Yeah. Oh, it's Thingy from Thingy. All right. Weird.
I thought it was already done. Was it not?
Yeah, it's all done, mate. I mean, I've lived in this new house for over a year. That's why I was a bit like, what has happened?
Yeah.
Now, when you sell a leasehold property, because you have service charges to pay, what they do is they keep a bit of money aside from you so that when those year's accounts are done, which is normally like 10 months after that calendar year is finished, if there's a surplus, money comes back, or if there's an additional charge for the period where I lived there, they pay. But obviously, they might not get you to pay it, so they just keep a bit of money aside in case that happens. And they were like, oh, they've done the accounts and they don't need any more money, so we've got some money to give you back.
Great.
I was like, lovely.
Yeah.
285 quid.
Perfect. How much was the crash?
245 quid. I was like, that's the crash and a couple of skins, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then I thought, do you know what? I've got to go to a stag do in Barcelona at the end of March. Yeah. That money pays for my flights and hotel. So, yes, I do not have a 9th crash, but that money just takes care of the Barcelona money, payment. So, I'm heartbroken because I fucking love buying cymbals.
Yeah.
But sensibility has reigned there, and I've sort of come out okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to make these tough decisions in life, You
do. Speaking of tax, I did my tax return. Usually I'm on it and I do it in April. But this 2025, got madder and madder, and then I went, fuck, it's January. Got to do it now. And I've never done that. But I ended up being in credit. You can imagine that. Yeah. I had a tax rebate in the end. They looked at, I was working 2 separate jobs, and the amount of tax I paid at those jobs ended up being more. And I went, have I done this right? You know what I mean? Because people get so uppity about it's January, I've got to pay my tax. You know what I mean? And I get it. But at the same time, why did you leave it till the 31st? You know what I mean? Naming no names, but but we all know, yeah, yeah. I've got a few in my head, but yeah, and then today, but I checked because obviously it's like you send it off and then it says, we'll let you know in 72 hours if it's not good, whatever, I just checked it yesterday and it was like, oh, it's all good and you're in credit. You have nothing else to do. Do you want the money back now or do you want to keep
it towards next year's?
Put it towards it. And
what did you do?
I'll have it.
You'll have it.
I'll have it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I just spent £600 on skins. Give me that fucking money.
Exactly. So that was a nice little surprise. Whose stag do you going to?
My friend Jamie.
Cool.
From back in the day, we were in a 3-day bender together.
Oh,
he was a sax player, and he was kind of the first person I met at sixth form, really. Either the day before or the day after 9/11.
Brilliant.
That was my first week at sixth form.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You play trombone?" I said, "Yeah." And he went, "Do you want to join a band?" I said, "Yeah, all right." And then I was in a band. And, so a few of us from the band are going. But he lives in Newcastle. He's lived up there pretty much half his life now. He went to uni and he stayed up there. So there's a northern contingent and a southern contingent.
Nice.
So I thought the stag do's were done, but here we go, Barcelona.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
For a weekend, yeah. I'm banking on the fact my spine will be okay and I can travel.
Yeah. When is it again? March?
It's
May?
end of March, so I got like
Right.
2 months basically. Should be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
What could go wrong?
Well, speaking of 3-day bender, I'm going to use this as a segue. Did you ever use charts in 3-day bender?
No.
No, you didn't, because it was an original band. Why is it then that, bands like Wonder Year and bands that the songs, but we still use charts? This isn't me having a go at you, but this is me having a go at myself. Because this was my goal with the Lainey thing, right? So the Lainey gig, last year I felt like I was just about getting by, just every week there was another gig, but I was doing other things, and I probably did have the time, but I haven't, learnt the songs to memory because I got the charts there, and that's fine. I can just glance down at them if I get lost. But I was talking to Jimmy about it, who's the guitarist, and we were both saying the same thing. We were saying every band you played in, it's like an original band. You just know the songs because they're your songs, you wrote them. You wouldn't even think about having a chart. Whereas function gigs, you might not have that much time to learn the tune, so you're like, well, I'll have that there just in case. But with this, we got the spreadsheet through of the gigs we got this year, and it's a lot. It's a lot of gigs. And I went, do you know what? Last year I was kind of just not winging it, but just about doing enough work to, do a good performance. But this year I don't want to do that. I want to go in from the first gig that's this Saturday and just be like, I know what I'm doing. Let's do it. So what I did, which, I'm not ashamed to admit this, was actually like go, right, how do I learn a song? Do you know what I mean? Because it sounds silly, but it's like, I think you get so used to writing a chart and going, okay, that will help me, even if it's just a basic structure, that to actually go, right, I don't want an iPad on stage for any of these gigs because we're doing 50 plus gigs this year, and I should just know the tunes, and I do know the tunes. Do you know what I mean? It's like how to play Valerie and Don't Look Back in Anger Without that. You know how to play all those tunes, but it is that comfort thing. But then it's a weird one because Jimmy and I were discussing it. We're saying it's such a weird comfort thing that sometimes you'll know a song, you do know it off by heart, but then you'll second guess yourself because you're like, well, I've still got this thing there, and then you'll look down and it throws you off. There's one song in particular, it's just a kind of bluesy tune, just kind of like swung and and I don't feel like I've ever learnt it properly, and it's got 2 separate pages to this chart, and there's a bit where it changes to something else, and I'm always swiping the page to go like, where is, and I went, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to just know it. So over the weekend, I locked myself in my studio for about 6 or 7 hours, 2 days in a row, and just fucking learn the songs. So it'd be like I'd listen, And also another interesting thing, I think it's interesting, is we're changing up the set. We're kind of copying what she does as a live show now, which is really cool. Because you asked once, like, how close am I to the drums? And it's like, it was sort of vaguely there, but, you know, there's some bits where I was just kind of playing what I thought would go well. But now I am playing what the drummer plays, you know? And, yeah, it was good. Basically, we had a rehearsal yesterday, and I went, I want to not look at my iPad once. And I didn't, really. There was a few bits where it was like maybe like a new tune, you know, like, okay, let's make sure I do get that right. Just because we were like recording it just for guide tracks for depths or whatever. But yeah, it's just an interesting one. It's that thing of like, no, you do know the tunes, and you're so much more free when you're not looking at a chart, you know, as you know. I'm sure if you compare your time in 3-day bender, you know, to doing a function, you know, I don't want to speak for you, but I can imagine those gigs in an original band are way more like, fuck yeah, I'm not even thinking about the song, I just know it, you know, as opposed to like when you're playing Semi-Charmed Life and you're having to be like, is this, you know, is what bit is next, you know? So
because that song is mental.
Yeah, it is mental. But I have no doubt that you could learn it, as could I, if you went, right, today, that is what I'm doing. I'm learning that tune. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you would just, if you had to, you would do it. But I think it's that.
Well, I guess there's a balance of want versus need, right?
Yeah.
And so, do I need to learn these songs off by heart? No. So why bother? Like, on a basic level.
Yeah.
Why bother learning them off by heart? I think when you go back to your original bands, I think there's an element of youth. Like, tend to be in original bands when you're younger. I think your focus and memory is probably better. And maybe like, I mean, 3-day bender, we would rehearse every week. We'd rehearse every week and do shows. So you're just playing it. They're playing those songs so often. But you're right, you are creating you're involved in when you're writing the song, you're involved in the DNA. You're involved in the creation. And you are writing the drum part for based on what you want to do, plus coercively including your ability. So, but when you know, doing function gigs, you're playing someone else's part. So you've kind of got to do it right. And that might necessarily not be what you do. So I think there's that difference. But I think want versus need, and I think Neil, I know with Decade, Victoriana and Wonder Year was like, I'm not going to do charts. I'm going to learn these at day dot by memory. Freshman year, it's more fiddly. It's like, I do need charts this, but I think it's time versus effort versus age versus how much you care. And I think maybe you're in a position where you've got all these shows coming up. So there's a commitment there. There's a commitment of you're going to be doing this band a lot. So you don't want to be tied to the charts. You want to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And learn it. If you just had 2 gigs in the diary for this year, what's the point in learning it?
Well, exactly that. So I'll just say, so that Ariana Grande gig thing I did end of last year, you know, she messaged the other day and gave me 3 more gigs. And, but with that, yeah, I'm not going to be learning that to memory, you know, because it's 3 gigs. Whereas the Lainey, it's exactly that. Yeah, it is. If there's, I don't know. But I think it is, yeah, if I could learn every gig to memory, because the 80s one, that's somewhere in the middle, because I do a lot of them, but it's never enough to make it, you know. But every song that you just know off by heart, I think there's an enjoyment thing, and I think I know how much more I'll enjoy it if I know it off by heart, as opposed to, you know, I want to get in the van and just hang out and not be thinking, oh, fuck, do I know that tune? I want to just be like, not worried about it at all. So yeah, it's interesting. But I get what you're saying about, you know, when you're writing the parts, you know, how would you get it wrong? And
yeah, I mean, I was in bands with people who would get it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, you fucking wrote this. What
Yeah, yeah.
But I think, you know, I think it's kind of when you, whatever path you choose to go down, like I didn't do, didn't have charts in Oxygen Thief. I made charts when we arranged the songs and recorded them. But for that, I was like, I'm not having charts on stage.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because with Oxygen Thief, Barry wrote the songs first, and then we turned them into full band. And he'd come up with some really fucking weird shit. And every verse was different. Every chorus was slightly different. So you couldn't just be like, oh, it's just that again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, he's added in another fucking semi-quaver or another weird variation of the riff. So I would try and I would learn it. But I did have moments on stage where I was like, fuck, I don't know. I can't remember. You know, I think I had one moment where I just ballsed out. I was changing time signature and I just fucked it up.
Yeah.
But a chart wouldn't have helped me there, I don't think. That was just a slip of the mind.
Yeah.
But one thing I found difficult actually with Oxygen Thief was remembering which song was which. That's the like trouble, because some of them are quite riffy and quite similar. And you're like, which one's this? Oh, it's this one. It's the one that goes chung. That's that one. Okay. And then I just have to sort of let myself go. You know this. Just let the muscle memory.
Well, that's kind of the point I'm trying to get to. Is the you do know this? You know that's that thing with the amount of function gigs where I've got a chart for something. I'm like, I know it. Why is that even there? I should be able to just have the set list and go, that's the set. You know, for a band like Decade, maybe not like Wonder Year or Victoriana back in the day, because they're a bit more fiddly. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, that's familiarity and muscle memory. If, you know, the more you do something, and I think I could do Decade with no charts. I could do it.
Yeah.
But I don't need to.
No.
And I don't want to. So there's no point. And I barely look at them.
Yeah.
You know. But what I find when I'm in doing Oxygen Theatre originals, when I was doing that, like you're performing and you're entertaining and you care. You really care about how your band is perceived and you want people to have a good time. The majority of function gigs, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I want it to be good, and I want the gig to be easy. But I'm a gun for hire. We're guns for hire. Like we're being paid to do this job. It's not creatively fulfilling me, or like, you know, you want people to enjoy it, sure. And if you can spot a drummer in the crowd and you think, here's some chops, you know, get a plate out. I'm going to put some fucking chops on it, mate.
Yeah,
you know. But ultimately, I don't care. I mean, we're playing other people's songs. Like, it's not like, I want people to like my music and then progress the career with them buying a vinyl at the end of the show or that sort of thing. Yeah. So I kind of I drift off. I just drift off, you know, and for me, a lot of the drumming I do in the function bands is probably less complicated, apart from freshman year, it's probably less complicated than I do in an originals band. So there's maybe less physical, like, linchpins to latch onto when you've just got to play Dancing in the Dark. I mean, you just play the same beat for 3.5 minutes. Very easy to and it's a grade 2 beat, and you just play it. Very easy to drift off and think about what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow. Yeah. When you're in the throes of a Oxygen Thief song that's changing from 7/8 to whatever, you can't really do that.
No. And I know what you mean about giving it your best, or like, I don't know, making a good show. Because I think that's part of it as well, is on those tunes, I don't want to be looking down at a chart. I think that's another thing. I want to be looking up the whole time. I want to be looking at the band or any... And
I guess with Lainey, what you're doing, people are going to see a Lainey Wilson experience because they like Lainey Wilson. They want to see it. Obviously, there's people who go to see the other bands, or it's a country festival, things like that. But we want what you're offering. Yeah. Whereas function gig is... we are entertainment, take it or leave it. Yeah.
And also, that's a good point, because...
And they don't want to see the drummer staring at an iPad.
No, because what if they're super fans, you know? It's highly likely, you know, we'll get a few at certain gigs and they're going, he doesn't even know the songs. Like, why are we here, you know? Like, there's an Arctic Monkeys tribute band that I am tempted to see, to be honest, because they look... really good. They're called Arctic Numpties, and
clever.
Yeah, and they look fantastic. Like I'd be up for going to one. But if I turned up and watched the drummer, I could see he had an iPad. I'd be like, this I could do this, you know, this is bollocks, you know. So, yeah, I think it's a bit of all of that. So, but anyway, but the rehearsal yesterday was exhausting, but great, because Chris Hampson just absolutely made sure that we knew our parts, and we were all fine with that. You know, it was like, you know, I think we all felt like at about 4 we were done. You know, we've been there since 10. We've done the set. We've done the new songs a few times, and maybe done the set twice at that point. I can't remember. And it got to the point where Jimmy started having a go on the drum kit, and they say that's the universal sign that a rehearsal is over when someone who's not the drummer has a go on the drums. And then Chris was like, right, let's run the set again. And I was like, fuck, again, you know, but it was like, no, but this is good. And I think we all left.
It's how you take it to the next level, and also how you cement that muscle memory and how you cement that. Because, you know, in the world of like gigging and what we do, it's very like mercenaries really. You jump on a gig, you do it, you fuck off, and you fill in. Everyone's filling in, everyone's doing that. People that usually get older, you don't have the time, you don't rehearse it all the time and all that sort of stuff. And actually a good lesson I had from uni was when we had to do our big final recital in our 4th year. So it's like a 55-minute solo recital. You should basically, it was in like March time, and they were like, you should know this shit by the end of December. Right? You should know it, and then what you should spend the next 3 months doing is performing it and running it through. You shouldn't need to work on anything. That should already be done. And my professor said, run it 3 times in a row. The 3rd time through, that's how you'll feel doing it the first time on the day.
Right.
Because you include adrenaline, a live audience, that sort of thing. You probably give it more because you're performing. So that kind of brutality of, run it again. Run it like, do you see what I mean? And it really...
Totally.
Mentally, because you're fatigued, so you're training yourself to deal with those extraneous things that you can't control.
Yeah.
And if you can do it well on your 3rd run through, well, then you add in all the other shit and the pressure and the judges and all that. The first time through you do it on the day, you'll be good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wasn't it Ben Thomas that said that? He said, I think even he was quoting Benny Greb or something. I can't remember. It was something to do with you'll lose 30% of whatever ability when you come to do it live because of all those things. So yeah, that's exactly right. And it was. God, what was I going to say? When I was practicing for it, when I was practicing for the rehearsal, there was a moment where I'd been in there 5 hours, and obviously it wasn't 5 hours of constant drumming. It'd be learn a tune to memory and then doom scroll reels for 20 minutes. But like it was sort of there was a point where it was like, I don't know, I don't want to sound cheesy, but some sort of flow, some sort of creative flow where I was just like playing the drums, and I was like, this is good. And I realized I'd missed it because I haven't really been practicing drums like that for a while. You know, like when you're a kid or a teenager or whatever, and you just play your favorite songs for like hours, you know. And it's like, and I think that does get lost when you get older, because you're like, right, I need to learn the songs for this gig and it's work, or I need to work on these pad things or whatever. But to actually just sit at a drum kit for hours and just be like, I'm just going to stay here. And there was a point where I went, I think I've got it. And I went, no, even if you have, just do it more. What have you got to... Yeah, what are you going to do? Go home and watch telly? Like, you know, just do it again. Like, you know, telly will still be there later, you know. So, yeah. No, it was cool, though. And I will say that's exciting as well, is having a drum kit permanently set up now, because it had been too long that I hadn't had that. And it's, it's cool. And I want to approach more gigs like that this year. I think last year I took on a lot more work and was like, fuck, just about got away with that gig, you know. But I felt like that on right up until the end of the year, even to that Ariana Grande gig. It was like, go away with that, you know. But the thing was, it was like no one ever noticed, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't mind saying this on the podcast. If anyone listening does hire me, you will get a professional job done. But But at the same time, it was sort of like no one noticed, but in my head I was going, that was just on the cusp of falling apart, you know. And I think that's how a lot of the Lainey gigs felt.
Well, there's an internal comfort, isn't there? And there's an internal pride. And whilst you can play the right things at the right time, it might not necessarily feel comfortable for you. It might not feel like... And that sometimes that's external factors playing into that. But sometimes, it's like you've just been slammed and you're kind of on the edge of, skin of your teeth, edge of your pants, or whatever you want to say, where you're just getting by.
Yeah.
And it's having real comfort and familiarity. And I think going back to like when you're in an original band, well, you have that comfort and original, because you wrote it. So you're playing in a sense, you're playing your favourite music because you're writing it. But when you're playing someone else's songs, it's not necessarily your favourite music. So you lose that ability to a percentage of caring about it. And you want to get to the point where, I've said this to various people in my bands, like, cool, you can play the song now, but now you've been doing it long enough, you now need to perform it. And I am there, and it just takes time because the things we've said, not rehearsing regularly, just doing the gigs, set that keeps changing, you're throwing in new songs. But when you're doing something like Fat Lip, well, now I don't need to look at my chart. I know it because I've listened to it for 20 years, plus gigged it for 5 years now. Yeah. And there's playing what's on the page, what's on the chart, but then there's performing what's on the chart. And it's getting to that point. But I have no want or need to remove the chart from the gig. If that makes sense. But I can totally understand with your Lainey show, you got 50 shows this year, you're going to be committed to it. You want to perform it. So you want to get that shit down. Get rid of the chart. It's a leap of faith. It's Indiana Jones stepping out.
It is.
Onto that bridge.
Yeah.
The penitent man. The word of God. Taking that faith, and for a time you take the stabilizers off, you'll wobble.
Yeah, you do.
But eventually you'll stay upright and fly, baby boy.
Exactly. Well, that's enough on that. You got anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I'm disappointed we didn't talk about spreadsheets, but we can save that.
We absolutely can.
Couple of bit of new bits of gear I've noticed.
Oh yeah,
springing up. I'll just mention them because you've probably seen this as well. That Evans pull cord drum key.
What does it do? Maybe.
So it's a drum kit, and you put it on, and you pull a string, and it quickly undoes or quickly tightens your lug.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it, but that sounds great.
Yeah. And I've also just seen TAMA have released lightweight hardware.
Oh, hello.
Called the Spartan.
Wow.
Spartan hardware. And where it differs from, so it's aluminium, and I think they still use steel though for the screws and shit. But I did a little comparison. So the equivalent TAMA stand, normal 5 kilograms. Spartan, this is the boom, 2 kilograms. So shedding over half the weight there. But that's where it differs from the Crosstown, the Yamaha Crosstown. This TAMA have done a boom stand.
That is, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that's lacking.
Just over 90 quid. So,
really?
Yeah.
Can you get it on its own?
Yeah, you can get it. They've only done a straight in a boom stand. That's it. I don't think they've done hi-hats or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
It's just cymbal stands at the moment.
Oh, shit. Maybe I'll get one. You
can buy a... Oh, here we go. TAMA Spartan Boom cymbal stand, $107.50 on Give for Music, or other places like Graham Russell and other loads of drum shops. You can get a pair of Spartan Boom stands, 200 quid. So, but they
I
also
might
do
just
a
get
street
one
stand.
because that was my thing. Not to get boring about hardware, but I had the lightweight hardware. I bought a third one because you only get 2. But if I can throw in a TAMA Boom stand, use my other one. Just
over 90 quid. No, that's for a straight. 107.50.
I'll absolutely get that.
Around there. Other retailers available. Other than that, all good. All good.
Great.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm a gaming man, playing games, man.
When you said you were doing work this morning, is that what you mean?
No, I actually did do work this morning. But this is the perk of my new studio.
Yeah.
I worked 10 till 12:30 recording some guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. Day's wage. Cheers.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I go and do the food shopping and play Indiana Jones.
That's great.
So,
Great.
and I love Indiana Jones, the Penitent Man. And I've got the Great Circle, which is a PlayStation game for the PS5. And I get to be Indiana Jones, discovering things in Egypt.
Great.
I fucking so you go in pyramids, the Sphinx is there. You know, pop a bowl of chili nuts beside me with a spoon, and I'm absolutely happy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
Yeah. Wow, good.
And then I had to stop to do this. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
Lovely jubbly.
Let's wrap up there.
Let's wrap up. Thanks very much for listening. As always, drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com, at drumanddrummerpodcast on Instagram. Don't forget to check out Little Piggy Studios. Don't forget to check out drumcharts.co.uk. I sold a few more charts, actually.
Great. Amazing.
Yeah, which is lovely. Someone from Canada. So
Wow.
shout out. I won't give names away. I've not sold any in England, just Scotland, Wales and Canada. So
Great. Brilliant.
I'll be like Sugar Man. What's his name?
Yeah.
Sugar Man.
I don't know.
Yeah. That guy who was famous for in Africa, but he was from Brazil or something. And he died, but he was like mega famous in a completely different continent.
Love that.
No? Does that ring any bells?
Coney? I remember Coney. We all had to make him famous.
Yeah, it's not him.
No.
But anyway, thanks for joining us. We've got one more before I have my surgery next week. So hopefully it goes well. We'll see you then. Take care. Goodbye. Good night. Good day. Good morrow. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.